My father's an immigrant from Switzerland, and he came here in 1927. And I always felt that children of immigrants have an added advantage. When my father said goodbye to his family, both parties felt they would never see each other again. It turned out it wasn't the case, but it was a long boat ride. If at the end of his life, if he would have said, it was a mistake. I should have stayed back in my home country. His life would be devastating. So how does he measure his success? Through his children. There's a lot of evidence that children of immigrants and immigrants put so much faith and investment in the next generation. And so I felt it, and my brother and sister did too.
Jack's all about making sure that you invest in areas where there's huge opportunity. And he knows that the biggest return on investment is not in a business setting, but in education, right? So when he thinks about his legacy, the place where he wants to invest his time and his resources is in education, and particularly in these high potential scholars who really might not get the opportunity to leverage their full potential without something like the Schuler Scholar Program.
There's nobody in my family who's attended a four-year college. So going from my dad and my mom who haven't completed college to being like, you could do this one day. This is a pretty big deal. I'm very fortunate to have all these people that want the same goal, to help me, to get me through college, to support me, help me get there and through.
I'm just really excited to see the type of person I'm gonna be after the whole high school experience is over, and really how I can put that into the real world and make an actual difference.
I definitely am thankful because I clearly would not be in the position that I am today without the program, but I think it's super vital in the types of communities that we come from, where we're definitely underrepresented at some of the institutions that we went to. And Schuler was there to not only help us get there, but they helped validate, they helped support our existence at these institutions. I'm just very appreciative of having that support, even well into adulthood.
I feel like he's such a kind-hearted individual. He's well into retirement, right? He could easily just go out and do whatever he wants to, but he's still with this organization, still coming to work and really wanting to see just this program through.
His role here in a lot of ways is as the visionary, right? So he will leave what he calls golden nuggets of ideas out for the staff. He will share big ideas. He's not afraid to take a risk if it's thoughtful and if it's for a good reason. So I think that adventurous spirit really percolates through all pieces of his life.
He always says, you're probably underestimating yourself. And I think he wants to push all of us, whether we're scholars, whether we're employees, whatever we bring to the organization. He wants us to really pursue the next step and not to be afraid of challenges.
One of the things I value so much is the ability to be creative. Jack will say, we've made every mistake in the book and it's a petri dish and you get to experiment, and that's wonderful because it is the case. You get to be creative, and if something doesn't work, being able to say, what can we do to make it better, and how can we use this in the future, or should we scrap it, and just building upon all of those mistakes that aren't mistakes.
I can see myself calling Jack and kind of asking him for advice. I see him as a mentor, I see him as a father figure, I see him in so many different roles, and as a leader. He really truly defined what a leader is.